Marconi plays the mum about listen to the radio. That is a line from the brilliant We Built This City by Starship from the 1970s, a song that I can't stop listening to. With radio listening figures up in the UK because of, well, many things, the global situation going on right now, I was going to write a list on why the radio is actually kind of crap nowadays, but in researching it, I actually fell in love with radio all over again. I am Danny Harrington from Dead Air Media, and this is 8 radio stations you should listen to. If you live in the UK, of course. If you're in America, the best station is whatever Howard Stern is on, because he is the GOAT. Let's start with Jack FM. North Americans will be very familiar with this brand because it's from Canada. Now, there have been many a version of Jack FM in the United Kingdom. It mostly plays rock and alternative music, but across its lifespan, there have been, as I say, many different Jack FM stations. So the one I'm talking about is the only one left, and that is in Oxfordshire, and you can listen to it on DAB+ in the United Kingdom. It has one of the best mixes of music, and I must say that it also had a brilliant kind of voice of satire. Paul Darlow, the star of Blake Seven and Doctor Who, bringing you some dry wit with just some throwaway gag lines. Absolutely amazing, top stuff. Miss him dearly. But Jack FM isn't just known for its one-liners and great music. It has a flurry of different stations focusing on different genres, particularly its Union Jack station playing kind of the best of British, not kind of, definitely playing the best of British. Jack FM is one of the best stations in the UK, and if you have a DAB+ radio, I would very much recommend you listen to it. Any rock fan should check out Jack FM. It is a fantastic radio station, and you know what they say? The sincerest form of flattery is imitation. Jack FM's format has been imitated more times than I recount by the likes of Bob FM in Hertfordshire, now Hart, and Sam FM in the West Country. Yes, by the way, both of those stations used to have Jack FM branding, so you can see imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Jack FM, go check it out. Next up, we've got Absolute Radio. And Absolute Radio, I have a weird sort of love affair with Absolute Radio because it started life as Virgin Radio, the original Virgin Radio in the UK in the 90s. And as I grew up, I used to listen to it because it used to play kind of great alternative rock. Still does under its new brand name. That changed it around the mid-2000s. By the way, did you know that Absolute Radio, when it was called Virgin Radio, was owned by Chris Evans, the radio DJ, not Captain America? Please don't get those two confused. Yes, it was owned by Chris Evans, who now weirdly presents the breakfast show on the new version of Virgin Radio. You keeping up with me? Hopefully you are. Now owned by Bauer, this rock and roll station is home of rock and roll football, one of the best football shows on the airwaves. It has the likes of Frank Skinner, Dave Berry as well. Plus it's the home of the 9 to 5 no repeat guarantee, unless they're running some sort of competition. It is truly one of the best radio stations in the UK. And its spin-off stations, it has a flurry of them from the 80s, absolute 70s, absolute 80s, 60s even as well, 2000s, 90s, even the 2010s and the 2020s. We're only just in the new decade, lads. Change of pace now, we're going to go with Kisstory. Now, if it hadn't been for Kisstory, Kiss would totally be on this list. I love Kiss. I even went in once for the Kiss Chosen One competition, and I completely messed it up because I was terrible. Playing a mix of old school R&B and anthems. If you listen to their station iGents, that's exactly what they do. It's like Ronseal. It does exactly what it says on the tin. This station is nostalgia for anyone that listened to dance music or house music in the 90s, like me, and greatly missed those times, shall we say. Through Kisstory, I've been able to rediscover some old school anthems that I haven't listened to since I was throwing up in the back of the car on the trip back to Cadbury World. It is a very successful station in its own right without the KISS branding. Not bad for a spin-off radio station from a Saturday night show. Next on our list, it's BBC Radio 2. This is the only BBC radio station on our list, and I've kind of become my father in a way, because I do remember arguing with him on long journeys in the car. Switch that Radio 2 rubbish off, it's all oldies, isn't it? I'd rather have listened to Radio 1 or my local commercial station, which was GWR at the time. That is what I enjoyed as a kid. But now that I've become older and wiser, I absolutely love BBC Radio 2's mix of new with the oldies. It is the #1 radio station in the United Kingdom, according to Radar, who conduct listener surveys. It is the #1. It has been for a long time, ahead of Radio 1. The station mixes classics with new stuff, but also has some amazing music documentaries and live music shows as well. Check it out if you haven't already. Next on our list, it is a local commercial radio station. To me, it is Sam FM, who you may have heard me mention earlier as a Jack FM clone. Yes, I know I'm cheating a bit on this list by including two stations that pretty much do the same thing. I just love alternative rock music, and Sam FM delivers that in droves. It is my favourite commercial radio station in the Southwest, available in Bristol, in Swindon and Wiltshire, in Southampton and the Hampshires. It's not going to be there for long. It's getting rebranded. It's just had a corporate takeover, so wave goodbye. There it is. There it is. It's gone. It's over there somewhere. It's gone to the history of dead radio stations. Following a takeover from Bauer, it's going to be turned into the greatest hits, except Sam FM Bristol, which will remain. This station grew out of a vacuum created when Brunel FM, which held the original 107.7 license, went out of business. Fun fact, I think I may have caused that to happen, because I asked to do some work experience there, and then 2 weeks later they went out of business. Next on our list, it is Wave 105.2. Now, I'm not sure how Wave has escaped the clutches of Bauer executives trying to turn everything into the hits or the greatest hits, but somehow Wave remains locally run and a local commercial radio station for the Bournemouth, Dorset and Poole area. And it has merged the hits playlist and the greatest hits playlist into its own locally curated playlist. And whilst, yes, there is a little bit of networking, most of the shows are still live and they are still very much local. For any sunny day down in Bournemouth, you should tune in to Wave. And the best part of the radio station is when I used to go down there, they used to have this massive hot air balloon that used to fly above a park that you could see at any point in the town. I think people could go on it as well and just see Bournemouth from the skies. I did not do that. I wish I had, and it's still a sour point. Get off my back. An adult contemporary station mixing the old with the new. Wave is a shining example and a rarity in itself of true local radio at its finest. And it still has one of the largest listenerships of any local radio station, with around 300,000, which is about 18% of the local population. Next on our list, it is the only non-music radio station on the list. It's Talk Sport. Now, I love football, and I'm talking about the soccer variety, not the one where it's rugby but with body pads and helmets. You know what I mean, right? The station has given a voice to fans of the beautiful game. One of my favourite shows on this station is its drive show with Adrian Durham and England cricket legend Darren Gough. Their chemistry is brilliant, but I'll get onto that in a moment, because Adrian Durham is great at stirring the pot. He's brilliant at doing that with football fans. Darren Gough has a says it as he sees it approach, which is mwah, and their chemistry is just excellent together. It is one of the, it's not only a great sports show, it is just a great talk radio show as well. Originally a talk radio, I wonder what became of them, then led by Calvin Mackenzie to take on BBC Radio 5 Live as the sole sport station in the country. The problem with Radio 5 is that it is different things to different people. Radio 5 has to be a news channel, has to be a consumer advice channel, has to be a political channel, and sport. That's 4 things it has to be, whereas TalkSport just focuses on sport and was unrivaled until Kelvin MacKenzie came back and created a station called Love Sport. Our final entry on the list, it's Magic. Now, I'm going to level with you. If you had told me 10 years ago that I would be a Magic FM fan back when I was listening to Radio 1 in Capital, I'd have been depressed that there was such an age called 26. However, I am still a fan of Magic. And I got into it at university. I really loved it, but more on that later. It is maybe an old man station, but it mixes great oldies and a lot of contemporary tracks as well. I particularly love the 80s, so it's the perfect radio station for me. Originally a London station only, is now broadcast across the nation on DAB digital radio. And if you haven't checked out their sister stations and spin-off stations, Mellow Magic, if you've ever had a stressful day, just shove Mellow Magic on. I promise that Mellow Magic will chill you out. That is our list of radio stations in the United Kingdom that you should check out. What's yours? Leave them in the comment section wherever YouTube put them nowadays. I have no idea anymore. Leave your favorite in the comment section. You can check out the original article, which was written by me at deadair.media. I'll leave a link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I have been Danny Hanson from Dead Air Media. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.